Welcome to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. Join us as we review our favorite RPGs, collectible card games, MMOs, video games, PC games, and bring up interesting topics and things that we'd like to share with everyone. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kellie, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Yes. Okay, so we want to take turns describing your character to each other so we know.
Oh, it's fabulous.
Her cute little braid. So, Jocelyn, you want to go first?
Oh, sure. My character is Kadira. She is an executive. And she's very femme. She likes to wear posh, hand-embroidered clothes from her homeland. Only the finest, made by small hands of small children in factories. She's got an aristocratic face, very compelling eyes, and she's slight in body, looks small and weak and, unassuming but compelling. And she's Middle Eastern, right? And should I give my beliefs? Should I give the Geary questions?
Yes, definitely the Geary questions.
Okay.
I'm curious about that.
So her beliefs are that gaining power provides protection, a calm demeanor controls the encounter, and money is but a means to power. Do they need my jam?
You can tell them the jam.
Okay. My particular jam is built into my playbook. The board assigns me mandatory contracts and fronts me cred in order to get it done, with a timeline always given for completion. By working within the timeline to complete these contracts, as well as paying contracts, I game the system to get what's mine. I can use my jam to think about my lifestyle and how to make it tie into other players. All right, the Geary, is it Geary or Geary?
Geary.
Geary. The Geary questions. If someone else keeps a secret about my subconscious from me, for my benefit, they have one Geary on me.
So, somebody in the group? Which one of your teammates would do that? You're picking the empath?
I would do...
She's pretty likely.
Okay, so Kellie, you're going to want to write that down.
Okay, hold it. Repeat it so I can...
If someone else keeps a secret about my subconscious from me for my benefit, they have one Geary on me.
Well, and I can read your subconscious.
That's a good pick. Yeah.
So
you have one Geary on her.
So I have 3 total questions. The next one is, if you've used your cyber brain to change something in the digital realm in order to protect someone else, you have one Geary on them.
Okay. Would you have done that for somebody in the room?
Maybe. I'll come back to that one.
Okay.
If you have been hurt manipulating the digital space in order to aid someone else in a life and death situation, you have one Geary on them. Now, I can imagine doing that if it would gain me power down the line.
An investment in the future?
Yeah.
Save some suit's life that's in a higher position of authority?
Yes. I guess that is supposed to relate to somebody in the party.
Yeah. It helps bring the party together.
And you are honor-bound, right?
She's all about enforcing Geary.
She'd be honor-bound to you, possibly.
There's some leverage there.
That's my Geary over you.
Mm.
I have been hurt manipulating the digital space in order to aid you.
Ooh.
And where do we make notes of that?
I'm just writing it underneath Gary.
Yeah.
Okay, well then, I guess I will go next.
Okay.
I am Tellen. I am an empath. I am very femme. I tend to dress in a very timeless style, something unassuming, classy, yet, always on point, but never too trendy, never too always just right. I have very compelling eyes as well, a very beautiful face, and a curvaceous body, and I am Caucasian. I am my jam is that I'm a luxury items salesperson. Everyone has jam or something that I'm good at and make a living at turn creds. When I tell the MC what my jam is, they'll tell you how much cred I earn when I get downtime. I make good money, bud.
Okay.
When your jam is used to establish your lifestyle, your income, and how you know certain other characters. So I've probably sold you many an item.
Probably.
Or at least you know where to come to get the very best luxury items. My beliefs are everything is for sale for the right price. Keep calm and carry on. And everyone is entitled to my opinion. For my Gearys, if someone caught me manipulating someone else's emotions unbeknownst to them and didn't tell anyone else, they have a Geary on me.
So they kept your secret, basically.
Yeah. Probably you.
Yes. Yeah, I'd probably.
She would keep the secret. You would not keep a secret.
Yeah.
You would bitch slap me upside the head. If I use the flow to comfort someone through a difficult life event, I have a Geary on them. It's like, suffice it. Or if I've used the flow to take solace or comfort from in another in a time of need for us both, we each get a Geary.
Little brown chicka wow wow.
So not necessarily.
It could be a
You
comforting...
could do that.
How about you and I? We went out for drinks and we
share a Geary.
we consoled each other.
So you both get a Geary.
Because that
Yes.
actually works for.
Yeah, because it's like
Mm-hmm.
we saw something horrible. We had drinks over it, and
Now remember, you can use Geary as basically a way to make one of the persons that you had Geary on do something for you.
yeah,
Right,
she'd be more willing to help me
Mhm.
because.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to be Nori, the Honorbound. I'm going to be androgynous, half-dressed, plain face with vacant eyes, tall.
Well, we're fashion pates over here, and she's like.
What? I
figure I just don't give a fuck.
I have all the bits that would identify my gender covered.
Yeah.
Something.
And then I'm gonna do like a mixed race.
Okay.
It's the future.
It's the future.
For jam, my jam is enforcing Geary. I'm gonna work with the MC to see how much cred I should make per enforcement task. Depending on each specific task, the amount of cred you get may change. You may also be fronted cred in order to facilitate a task. La la. Use your jam to think about your lifestyle and how you may know the other players. So my beliefs are I'm going to cleanse the city by eliminating the weak. Glad we're not weak.
Yeah, booyah.
I'm going to say everyone can take care of themselves. Some choose not to. And poverty is laziness.
Oh, wow.
I don't deal with the impoverished. They can't pay my mission.
They believe what they want to. And then my Geary is if someone keeps a secret regarding why I enforce Geary and they've told no one, they have one Geary on me.
So who do you think that
probably
would be?
Kellie.
Kellie?
Yeah,
She knows why you're secretly honor-bound, and she's kept it secret.
If I've let someone off or reduced their penalty when they didn't uphold their Geary, I have one Geary on them. So, probably you?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
She shortchanged somebody on her Geary, and you made it go away.
And then if I've trained someone to fend for themselves when I'm not around, I have a Geary on them. So which one of you do I have an extra Geary on?
Hold it. So what was the...
Train someone
If I train someone to fend for themselves.
I'll do. You can have
Then
trained
we're
me.
neutral,
Yeah.
but we're still +1.
Yeah.
Okay. And Cake. Cake wants to be
Cake wants to be the Shiba cat.
Cyber Cat.
It's really this little chibi anime cat that's running around like the hallucination, and it's just like doing the whole Cheshire Cat thing.
Yes.
Popping up. He's an ad.
Yeah. I'll send you pictures. You can share with our delightful
He's a
listening
little
audience.
adware
I'll
popping
have
up
to
in
turn
your
him-
cyber eyes.
Blink, 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 blink.
And then I have something cool too.
Something called what?
Circumstances that generate Geary. If somebody comforts me, they get a Geary. If they employ me, they get a Geary. But my penalties for breaking Geary are execution or trial by combat.
Whoa.
Well,
If you win trial by combat, obviously it's okay to break that Geary.
Yeah, which is probably maybe how Joclyne got one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Okay, and if we do come to any situation where I say you have advantage or disadvantage on a dice roll, you get to roll 3d6 instead of 2d6, and basically take the 2 higher rolls. And if you have disadvantage, you take the lower rolls. But
Okay.
there's only a few situations that'll come into play. It's not like D&D where it comes in often.
Or if you have a witch in the party in Pathfinder. Disadvantage.
Yay for witches.
She's a witch.
I'm not.
this is not my nose. It's a false one. It's fickle. Love that movie.
That's so good. You gonna help, Cake?
That
Cake
one
is
and
definitely
Life of
helping.
Brian are my favorites of theirs.
Life of Brian is so good. That was the first one I saw, I think, ever was Life of Brian.
Yeah. Romans, you go to house. No, it says Romans go house. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Conjugate the verb to go. Right. I want to see that 100 times in the morning, or I'll cut your balls off. And don't do it again. I love that movie.
God, I haven't seen it in 20 years.
So take a minute, look at your character sheet for your moves, look at the reference sheet that's got the generic rule things everyone can do. There is such a thing called lift the veil when you try to pierce the constant illusion of the veil, searching for information or recalling something you may already be privy to. Because sometimes the veil, by the way, can lie to you. That maybe you're
The
seeing...
internet always tells the truth.
Perhaps
Not
say...
everything on the internet's real.
Perhaps, the veil can be making you see one thing when something completely different is there. Like, say there's an architect, that was doing his thing on the veil that when you're shooting someone, instead of seeing blood, you're seeing pretty colors like it's a paintball game. So there are situations when you want to pierce the veil, especially... Confetti poops. It's the PG-13 act.
Glitter one.
You can, of course, help or hinder. You can, of course, analyze. You can attempt to sway someone, to divert someone. An ultimatum. When you say what you want and what you do if you get it. So you basically roll, and if you get a 10, yes, exactly what you says happens. You can clearly remove yourself as a threat. You can fortify yourself. Give yourself something to think They think you want. Attempt to remove you as a threat after taking the established consequences. Lots of things that you can do.
Cool.
And the big one you're going to want to look at is the duels for fighting, by the way. Yeah, be very careful when you do a duel. If you roll if you miss, the opponent gets 3 holds and you only generate 1. And basically the little boxes are what you spend holds on. So it can be very dangerous because, you try to, you're basically doing a duel, you fail horribly, the person hits you 3 times, you hit them once.
Yeah. And
that can add up quick. The nice thing is you can, say you failed your roll, and yes, the Master of Ceremonies, GM as the game calls it, basically chooses to just block damage or attack you. You could then pick the bottom one, which is force a change of location. So you could basically say, we now run off this rooftop to another rooftop. Which you can also use that effectively in combat if you would like to remove one person out of a group. You say you want to take out one guy and not all of his mooks. You could force a change of location and basically describe how this is happening. Because it's very much you get to describe what you're wanting to do. Especially if you roll a 10, exactly what you says happens.
Okay.
So it's really free form for you guys.
Cool.
That neutralizes good too.
Do we start with any cred?
You actually will start with 2 cred, and let me see your.
I think I start with
second
4.
sheet. Yeah. I was also going to give you your contract.
All right, I'm just going to give you the whole set.
Okay.
I have a contract?
So no, she has a contract. This is basically what her boss is telling her to do. Honest work. You're going to be doing security detail.
Okay.
For 2 creds. So they'll front you the 2 creds for that.
And it also says that I begin with fashion suitable to my looks, 4 creds, and 1 corporate weapon.
Mm-hmm. Did you pick the weapon?
Yeah.
What'd you go for?
The ornate shaku.
Okay, that's right.
The paddle of doom. So I start with 6 creds total then.
Mm-hmm.
So how many creds do I get?
Oh, you took care of your sad. Okay, since we're saying that these are experienced characters during your downtime, I'll say you made 2 crits. So that we've got some. So you all have roughly the same amount.
Cool. You can go through therapy to remove a negative tag from a body part.
You can get that fixed. So, in theory, for spending creds if you want, you can buy any basic weapon for 1 cred per tag, gear or fashion attire, repair a piece of basic gear, medical treatment, 1 harm is healed for 1 cred, a few sessions maintenance and repairs for performance vehicles or cybernetics, bribes and fees, useful information from a contact, a session's worth of cheap muscle. Basically, you could hire a goon.
Okay.
Then for 2 creds, you might get something along the lines of getting a base amount of cybernetic work done, a session's worth of some professional expertise, a hacker, a driver, etc., repairing cybernetics that are heavily damaged or custom built, a customized weapon with a specific type of ammo, bribes and fees that could pay off most people, and then for 3 creds that would count for highly professional and trained help, the attention of people who could get you almost any weapon, bribes or fees that would fix most problems, and high-end luxury items or technology. They super simplify my spending of money. Okay, so as we're folding into the story here, as I drop it. So, our dear corporate friend who's working security. Thankfully, you know some people because your company, the Eros Corporation, has got a big problem. Not only does the Eros Corporation have the best matchmaking app out there that allows people to be matched just by perception of another person, your app will go and match their software to your software. It's got like a 98% chance of finding life matches. It's like one of the best. And not only did your app have a great free weekend utilization, so your numbers are up, you're looking good. But unfortunately, during the last transaction, someone hacked into your software and downloaded a malicious program
Into the Eros.
into your Eros into your app.
Okay.
So when the free weekend happened, everyone downloaded the free app, and random people have been infected. They found out through your tech department that it's called the True Love virus. Whoever the hacker was that made it wrote it in there. It's the love at first sight. And unfortunately, when this app does activate, it causes strange, irresistible, illusionary emotions between two perfect strangers. Normally, this wouldn't be a problem because it was only customers that have your app have it happen. It was the marketing department thought it was amazing. But then all of a sudden, horrible things have happened because of these random happenings. Like, nothing worse than driving your car through traffic and all of a sudden you have irresistible desire to the person you just saw that you crossed the street. As you're still driving your car looking at the person who's crossing the street.
Oh dear.
Or police officers in the middle of a case all of a sudden have a irresistible urge to talk to someone while they're doing something else. So what looks like it should be just a harmless prank is actually being a very detrimental thing to society in general. Worse yet, the police are currently investigating some of these accidents and wondering why it seems that malicious activities are going on that they don't control, the victims. As well as you recently got a memo on your on your tablet that you're supposed to be checking out because one of your factory employees of the subsidiary company recently died because he was murdered by apparently they think a romantic rival's husband. And according to security videos, she's a customer and they got no connections, but all of a sudden they were caught making out in an elevator just randomly.
The husband?
The dead employee and the wife of the suspected murderer.
Okay.
And it was unfortunately put on one of the websites as a gag reel. And apparently the jealous husband must have saw his wife making out with someone in the elevator and took matters into his own hands. Possibly enforcing Geary of his unfaithful wife.
So my goal is to track down the killer and enforce security?
Your contract is basically, in regards to security, is find the person who created the app and basically eliminate them quietly.
Okay.
And the app as well.
The virus.
Yeah. Because if you could get a hold of, say, the person's equipment that they made the virus on, your IT department can counteract it really easy and make sure it doesn't happen ever again.
Okay.
Let alone the weirdness of this virus.
Gotcha. And I also have this information that this husband may have murdered his romantic rival.
Yes.
And there's a True Love app, so...
The love at first sight is the malicious virus in it.
Okay.
But on the plus side, all employees got free copies of the app.
Yeah, and they're falling in love, apparently.
Hey, they might just go crazy. Did the makeout session happen before or after the app?
After the app.
After the app.
And she was a client.
And she was also a client, yes.
Okay. Interesting.
So the company is basically wanting you to take care of this as quickly and discreetly and privately as possible. Well, of course, working with, law enforcement as a good corporation should.
Of course. Okay.
And basically you're given free reign to establish a core group to assist you.
Oh, very good. So,
Grab someone from sales. It's a slow week.
Well, actually, I know that there is this empath in sales who is uniquely qualified to cut through certain obstacles in the veil and read the intense and possibly nefarious plans of different individuals. And I believe I have a Giri over her.
Yes.
Excellent.
So she might be a good person to start with. So I'm going to...
Oh, no, I have a Giri on you.
you have a Giri on me?
Because I know your secret.
And I kept a secret for you, so
Okay,
I
so
have a
yeah.
Giri over you.
She did you a solid.
So I'm going to go down to sales and meet with Tellen and invite her to join me for lunch.
And she's telling me to help out.
And of course, make sure you keep all receipts.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. And, this is the sort of thing that would need some muscle, potentially. Someone to deal with any wrongdoers. I've had an encounter with an Honorbound who's very good at making problems disappear.
Quietly.
So I'm going to
Discreetly.
call her up and invite her out to lunch as well. It's just a ladies' lunch. Nothing unusual in that. I do that all the time.
Okay. By all means, we trust your good decision makings. I mean, the stature that you're at in this company alone shows how much we trust, respect, and support your decisions.
Thank you, sir. I, of course, would never let you down in anything and intend to complete this special project in a quick and seamless manner.
Okay, they go ahead. The board dismisses you.
Great.
And of course, as you leave, you see the indoctrination class of like the children executive group.
Oh, next generation.
Okay.
Very exciting.
So as you're walking to the elevator, I'm assuming you're doing the using your interface to take care of what you need to take care of arranging things.
Yes, I've made calls to my two friends and invited them to lunch, and I've set up a reservation at one of the nicer eateries that's close by, a place that executives often meet their friends for lunch. They're friends.
Friends. Most people call those business acquaintances, but friends.
Friends. It's a friend.
Associates.
So, of course, this being the age of cybernetics, you're basically sending a little text message in your eyes. It's popping up over your compatriots.
I'm clocking out for lunch.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I guess I'll leave my little sex dungeon temple and head over there.
And she's like shanking some guy in an alleyway, leaving the temple.
As you do, apparently.
So what is your temple referred to as, by the way? Is it temple?
Oh, I have to name it?
Well, just spitball something.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Just the temple.
The temple? Okay, that works. Okay.
Alright.
So you guys
We'll
get
call it.
together for the lunch date?
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a really stellar place. It's up and coming. It's been in all of the periodicals in the Vale about how delightful the chef is, how cutting edge the cuisine is, and how they create these lovely little pods where you can meet in sequestered special sensory areas where he plugs in music, light, and smells that pair perfectly with the food and are contained from the other pods.
More like
Nice.
astronomy.
I mean, think about it. It's using the veil as well. I mean, also you're getting full sensory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Discretion.
yes.
Awesome.
I try and get there on time.
I'm fashionably late.
Okay, so are you showing up on time?
I think I would come early and scope it out.
It's the right thing to do, right?
Yeah, making sure everything's on the up and up.
It's the honorable thing to do.
As it were.
Okay, immediately you notice as the Honorbound comes in, people get the usual edgy nervousness of, have I paid all my debts? Yes, I have. Okay, I don't have to worry about anything.
The repo man.
It's really
Hey.
that dead-eyed stare that does it.
And the double arms.
Better for holding sushi.
Yes?
Yes.
4 sets of chopsticks going instead of just one.
Drink and eat at the same time.
Okay, so you're there waiting for your tables are ready immaculately. The servers have no problem helping you. They bring you into the table. Apparently, your friend comes in next, fairly on Kendra
Kadira.
I should do
So if I were to go off grid, I could effectively spy on other people in the restaurant?
effectively, yeah. You can basically turn off the veil. You could switch off your interface so that, but then you would be missing all the pomp and stance for the lunch. Yes, pomp and stance. It's one word. It's cyberpunk that way. Okay, and then your sales, you come in and the table's been established with the ambiance requested.
Excellent.
You even get the check the little boxes to pick what ambiance you want.
Good. I've clearly chosen something that discourages others from listening into our ambiance.
Okay.
It's cacophonous. It's strangely discordant. It sounds like people are being gutted.
Oddly enough, he has a
Bicycle
nice
round.
steak tartare with a butcher shop for meat lovers.
Yes, and very bold red wine.
Yeah. Very, very salty.
And very bold.
Okay, so as you know, you're coming up, you see that table's got some horrific ambiance going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to turn the veil off. Just check out quietly.
You're gonna turn off. You shut the veil off with your interface, so it's finally quiet.
It's a lot like your temple, actually.
I feel like I should be addicted to silence. Like that.
The sound
It's a rarity.
of silence. And of course, oddly enough, in the silence, you're noticing everything going on around you. All of a sudden, as the third member of the party comes walking in the door, fashionably late, you notice that one of the servers just drops his plate he was coming out with. He's just staring off into the sunset, just drops the plate. And then all of a sudden he just slavishly starts moving forward, and a woman gets up from the person she was just sitting with, talking, and they just boom, start macking right there, just making out, groping, public display of massive affection. It's
Are PDAs common in this society?
Are they?
Oh, good question.
Well,
Honestly, the wait staff are not supposed to suddenly break out into fornication in the middle of the restaurant.
She did pick a good restaurant.
In the
I would
upper
say on the streets. It should
but
be.
in the upper echelon, no.
And these two people are just going at, literally at one point, the two of them just hands and bodies and kissing, and a table sheet gets ripped off a table with a clash, and they just get on the table, and they're practically going at it.
I snap my fingers at one of the
Other wait staff. Okay, immediately this android comes running up to you.
Yes, I believe that there's a disruption with the ambiance we ordered today. The death and violence is really paling in comparison to the fornication. Could you speak with your manager about this situation? Really a curtain, or perhaps dolly them out into a different room.
Kind of the opposite of what we're paying for.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I will see to your needs. And immediately, double snap, garçon style, and a few of the actual servers come out in their normal flesh and blood and a few cybernetic, and they're looking at what's going on here. Literally, they're wrestling them out to the point of where they throw them on the table sheet, pick the sheet up, and are carrying them out.
So if I were to check back into the veil while I'm watching them,
Mm-hmm.
since I have like cipher vision, would I see any signals going on, or?
So what tags do you have for your vision?
I have magnifying, cipher, and I chose 360 vision. I don't know how that works.
Oh, so you got big buggy eyes.
But like to see behind me mostly.
Or it could be, since that's a second tag, maybe you've got a set of cybernetic eyes in the back of your hair.
Yeah.
Maybe where your hair like coolly comes up, there's a second pair of fake eyes.
It's my undercut.
Because that way you don't get you get geary from behind.
Or maybe they look like tattoos on the back of your
Ah,
neck,
yeah.
but they're really eyes.
Yeah.
I like that too.
Whichever one you like, you can have. Okay, so you do notice that basically everyone is upset seeing this PDA here going on, and literally they're like, "Oh, this is not a brothel. This is not the place."
Well, that's not the sort of restaurant we've gone to. That restaurant was popular last week, but it's gone out of business ever since there was that incident in the kitchen.
Can I pick up anything? I mean, how do I like probe them?
Use one of your moves.
Okay.
Probe them.
Probe them.
Okay, I only have, so I guess absorb. I'm gonna draw on their emotion.
Oh dear. Okay, so how do you do it?
You begin with 0 flow when you intentionally draw on the emotions around and name someone present, the waiter.
Okay.
If it's a PC, choose the emotion. If it's an NPC, the NC will tell you what you can absorb from them when you roll on a 10 plus. Choose 3.
And then it should have black boxes underneath there.
Yeah. You get +1 flow. They aren't aware of what you're doing. You don't spike out that emotion yourself. You completely clear out or fill up all their emotion spikes.
Okay, so basically you're going to want to use one of your emotions in the front here, your states, and roll 2d6 and tell me which state you're using and add that to your roll. So,
Peaceful.
Peaceful? You're doing the Zen thing? Okay.
So it's a +2.
Okay.
Ooh, 8 + 2, so 10.
So 10. So go ahead on that page. You get 3, right? On 10 plus, you get 3.
Okay.
Okay.
So I get +1 flow.
Okay.
They aren't aware of what I'm doing.
Okay.
And I don't spike out the emotion myself.
So, okay, you didn't absorb it, and in case you were spiking out. So go ahead and check one of your little boxes for peace. So you just calmly open yourself up to the flow.
Yeah, to
and
see
you
what was going on.
Basically, you're getting that their joyfulness is what's spiked out right now. Someone has obviously manipulated them because all you're sensing.
But I'm
them,
absorbing it. Does that mean?
Well, you're absorbing one flow.
Okay.
Right. What do your moves say for flow?
Okay, flow. It armors me.
So that's how you're going to use your one flow?
Well, that's what I had to check one, right? Or do I pick it each time?
Well, it should have a single pick.
Oh, it armors me, so I have armor now.
Okay, so basically when you absorb that flow, it reinforces you. So you're picking up that definitely their emotions are not natural. They are being forced upon them right now.
Okay.
It's basically you're getting through your empathy, you're sensing that someone's using the veil to basically drop a freaking roofie on them.
Okay.
This is something against their will.
Can I see anything in my? I have one of my eye tags is multi-spectrums.
Multi-spectrum?
So if I go through the spectrums, do I notice anything odd?
Well, you do notice that their bodies are really hot. But, no, not per se.
Okay.
But you two you're definitely, this is insane that you just saw two people just drop into a public display of affection. Now, your friend who invited you to lunch doesn't seem as upset as you both are
I'm
for
surprised.
this public display of affection. Possibly reminds you of those videos you've been watching. Or I should say the security footage of the accidents. to which is you're having, lunch with your compatriots, you get a little email pop up saying, please open attachment.
Do I get that?
Uh-huh. You click the little button and you see basically some conveyor line workers, 2 supervisors watching some dolls, basically androids, assembling things. They just start making out on the conveyor belt, and then of course they get hurt. Thank God not killed, but hurt. Unfortunately, the cost analysis department is saying it would have been cheaper if they died.
Oh, God.
Oh, yes.
And a reminder of, please, contact Detective so-and-so, in this case it's Jacobson, involving the recent death. The one that happened on the...
The elevator guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
And then it gives contact information with the officer's, bio sheet.
Oh, so I have to contact him.
Well, they basically, in the email, it gives you a location, little Google Maps of where you can go find them right now.
So that's probably where we want to go next. All right. Well, so I was going to tell them about what's going on with the situation. Do we have time for that before we need to go? All right. Well, you see, so I've invited you here today not just for lunch, which you should eat. It's on the company's,
Oh, I'm already eating.
bill. There is a little situation you may have noticed. I motioned to the waiter and his copulating customer. Seems there's been a slight issue with some of our software that got released this weekend, and there may potentially be a bug or some sort of malware that we need to remove, and I need to track that down, and I need your particular skills in order to do that.
Yeah, I definitely picked up that this was not natural.
Well, I think that there will be benefit to you in the long run to assist me with this, and I'm sure that we could...
Arrangement can be made?
Arrangements can be made. Your normal rate, of course, being what it is. But at the moment, we should leave here very shortly to go meet with my next contact about the current situation, and I believe that if we want to leave while they are taking care of that issue there with the tablecloth and apparently the salad tongs now, we should be able to slip out without anyone noticing. So I'd like to use my divert so that we're able to
slip out. Okay.
So
it's the little cleaning robots doing its little, robot thing.
Right.
When I was looking at those two with my cybernetic eye, did the bird show anything?
Did the bird?
I think that's only party members.
Oh, only party
members?
members?
Yeah, it's for party members.
So, what would I be adding to that roll?
Which emotion are you utilizing for this?
Probably... Let's see.
And then you want to mark off one of the little boxes.
Confident, powerful.
Okay, powerful.
Confident. So that gives me a 10.
10? Okay. So for that move, what options do you have for it? So a 10 should give you, I believe, 3.
Okay, so we're going to slip away. So that's going to be 1. I'm going to glean a flaw or weakness from the situation. And my action creates an opportunity for me or someone else. I think I'd like it to create an opportunity for the empath to glean some bit of information.
Okay. So when the empath is walking by, as you've made your nice little distraction, you're slipping by, The empath is actually picking up on a little note that was being jotted on the customer that was sitting at the table. Like all of a sudden, she started writing something incessantly over and over and over and over on the
Working
napkin.
her plate, makes giant adult
Can I
girl.
magnify in on that?
What is, yeah.
Sure.
What is it?
Basically,
Record.
it's the word heartbreak. Heartbreak. Just over and over, just on the napkin. It looks like she was writing something and then just devolves to the word heartbreak over and over and over and over.
So perhaps the person who's responsible for this had his heart broken, and now he wants to have everybody, as many people as possible.
And it could be a keyword in the software.
Mm-hmm. And I'll also give you, too, as well, that you noticed that her corporate badge is on the ground.
Oh, I'll pick it up.
She does work for a rival corporation. I mean, the company, Eros Corporation, your company, will definitely take it and use it, because corporations are all douchey that way. And they're lovingly profit margined way.
Yes.
But it's basically her badge for getting in and out of her office.
Great, I'll just pocket that.
Because that could come in really handy. And you guys easily slip out without anyone noticing, because there's the whole cacophony of craziness going on in the kitchen now. Because when they tried to get them out, they wouldn't stop, even after someone sprayed them with seltzer water.
Seltzer water never works. All right.
Okay, so we'll go ahead, and you guys are going to head to where the map's saying the officer is currently investigating?
Yes, we'll take one of the local transports.
Okay.
Quickest thing to do.
Okay. Let me go ahead and change batteries real quick, because apparently we're getting old.
And that's a great place to wrap it up there.
On the battlefield, I'm a warrior, ready to kill or be killed. I've defeated orcs from the north, sent Kandorian demon spawns back to the depths, and drank with Cimmerian heroes. But when I get back from a hard day of disemboweling my enemies, I enjoy nothing more than to open my castle doors and find a dungeon crate as my reward for blood well spilled. Designed for role players and tabletop gamers, Dungeon Crate is a monthly subscription box service with a treasure hoard of loot you can use on or off the battlefield. Miniatures, dice, tokens, coins, maps, modules, terrain pieces, handcrafted items, RPG jewelry, and more are yours for only a few gold per month. You even get a digital crate along with a physical one as an added bonus. So what say you? Are you ready for postal glory? Oh boy. DungeonCrate.com. Let the adventure begin.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.